What's going on, everybody? How are you? This is Real Talk Chronicles, and I'm Bill Force, and I'm with my lovely wife, Malika Force.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be back in another part of our home. I've been on that highway, everybody. With that being said, I hope everybody out there is staying safe, wearing your mask, protecting yourself. Please don't take COVID as a joke. It's very serious. But today I have a very close to home topic, besides a lot of topics, but a lot of things. This is very close to home to me. When I joined Abyssinian Baptist Church, I needed some therapy for myself. My mother had passed, and I needed some direction, and I was I was out there, and I was in the abyss. You know, I needed something to do, and I was glad. And when I joined Abyssinian, it was good, and they was asking, "Oh, do you want to be a part of any groups and organizations, ministries?" And it's just so funny that I heard about Blue Nile, and when I heard about Blue Nile, I was like, "Oh wow, I don't have any biological children, but I have four to five godchildren, and I've done things with children, but it was something that I felt that I wanted to embark on." And then I met this young man in my far right corner named Cliff Simmons, and about what Blue Nile was about, and I told him what I did in my former profession, law enforcement, and he let me see what things were about. I came in under a good friend of mine, Mike Eddy, and other people of that magnitude, and I just met a lot of people in Blue Nile, and they embraced me, and it was very warm and loving. And with that being said, I saw what Blue Nile was about. So I want to introduce Cliff to the audience. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Cliff is my co-host for the evening, along with Malik and myself. Everybody, I'd like to introduce the president of Blue Nile, Cliff Simmons. Welcome, Cliff.
1 second, Cliff. Let's unmute you.
Unmute you. Hold on. We can't hear you. Got to unmute you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure once again to sit and talk on important topics with you, Bill Force. I call you Elder Force, so we call all of ourselves elders. And of course, your beautiful wife, Malika, which I'm sure without her, none of this would have been possible.
Exactly. I'm gonna go with that today. I'm gonna go with that a lot.
Okay. But my actual title is Executive Director and Co-Founder of Blue Nile Passage. Blue Nile was started in 1994 at the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem under the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Calvin Otis Butts III. It's a manhood and womanhood training program. Our mission is the spiritual, cultural, and moral character development of youth of African descent. We have different components, but our major component is our rite of passage. It's a 9-month process where you come and learn skills such as public speaking, time management, conflict resolution, mass media analysis, economics, politics, history, African history, spiritual grounding. It runs the gamut of what a young person needs to become a positive and productive individual in life. Every youth is linked with a one-to-one lifetime mentor. I want to stress that. A one-to-one lifetime mentor. Each youth is linked with a mentor as not only their own personal, but they are also surrounded by other elders who become uncle figures, father figures, mother figures, godmother figures, and we are available to help assist them in life for the rest of their lives. So we take this very seriously. It's not just a 9-month program, it's a 9-month process, but it's a lifetime commitment that we make to them. And so some of our youth have now come back, as you will hear on this broadcast, to give back. Some youth have, started out as young brothers and young sisters and moved up the rank to become volunteers, and then became young sons and daughters, and became elders, and became a process. What I'm like, it's so I'll stop there, and I know there's a lot that we're going to talk about, but
Oh, no, I'm glad you said that. And I want to ask you, Cliff, personally, what made you get involved with the Blue Nile, and how did you get into that leadership role? Because I think for everybody here will have their own story with how they got involved. But I wanted to know what has catapulted you into the role that you are in now, and just how did it just come about for you to just get involved in the Blue Nile anyway?
God and the ancestors.
Okay.
There's a purpose is something that I'm big on, and I was involved with another organization, and I wrote a creed for that organization. That organization folded. It really didn't go too far, and I put it up on the shelf. And about 2 years later, I found myself in Abyssinian Baptist Church, and I was asked to lead an organization, one of the 4 boards of the church, called the Board of Christian Social Concern. And that organization helped move the church in social and civic activities. So they were involved in voter registration, a lot of workshops, a lot of a series on history and culture and other things like that. And in that process, there was a woman named Mildred Franklin. And she put on the table, she said, I've been coming to this church a long time, and I have this idea, but nobody ever listened to me. And so I said, put it on the table, and she did. And she said that she showed pictures of a program, it was a manhood program in a church down in South Carolina, one of her, I guess her home church. And there were a group of brothers that were helping these brothers, in manhood training. So, and it reminded me of the program that we were trying to start at that community center that folded, or that we had started, and then it didn't last long. And so about a year later, we decided to put together a group and to come up with a concept that would help the youth in the church. Well, we focusing on males in the beginning. That would help the youth in the church and on the church block, because the church on the church block was kind of
busy. We'll use the word and say busy.
That may be sanitizing it too much, but anyway, you say you keep it real. You know what I mean?
Well, keep it real. This is Real Talk Chronicles.
It was sort of up,
Right.
Yeah, and so we met for we decided to go and ask another the Board of Christian Social Concern went to another organization in Abyssinia called the Brotherhood, and asked for a group of brothers, because my organization had mostly female, and we got a few volunteers from there, and 9 of us met for a period of 4 months, 2 or 3 times a week for 4 months. And we came up with the concept. I went to Reverend Butts and I said, this is what we want to do. This is what, we have. And he said that he told me, he said, I sent a group of brothers to Detroit years ago, and they came back and they, showed me what was happening, and they wanted me to sit down and plan it with them. He said, but that's not what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to go and then get some ideas and plan it themselves. And like you're doing, bring it to me and show me. He said, I will give you the right to continue to develop this program under one condition. And I said, what is that? He said, is that we don't start another program. So I was very perplexed. I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, I just come, I'm in my mind, I'm just coming to you, talking about you want to start a program. You're saying we don't want to start another program. He said, no. He said, I don't want to start just something that could be, what we consider another program of the church. If we do something, because this is so important, I want to start something that can become a paradigm for the nation. And so his idea was already much broader, that this is something that can be used way beyond the four walls of the church. And so he said, I'll agree to have you oversee it if you agree to what I just said. And I agreed. And so went back to the program. We eventually started 4 months later. We rolled it out, and we had a pilot program in 94, February of 94 to June of 94. And then in October of 94, we started the full 9-month program. 95, we asked the adults if they would be sisters, if they wanted to start their program. 80 sisters showed up one night. I had 4 women that led that group, and then in 95 we had both the male and female. Moved out of the church in 96 and incorporated, and have been running ever since. Moved up to Greenburgh and White Plains in 2007.
Awesome. I commend you, and I applaud you all. So, like I said, I am part of Blue Nile. I apologize for not having my in a lot of transitions from places to places. So I know it's in a box or a suitcase somewhere. But the beautiful thing about it is, emotionally and mentally, I'm always with Blue Nile. I had told Cliff that I wanted to do something to give back to Blue, because I think Blue Nile needs to be recognized. And I had mentioned to Malika that I wanted to do that, and she was all for it, because I tell people all the time, positivity is one of the hardest things to sell. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce you all and let you introduce yourselves and tell me how long you've been with Blue Nile. And then we'll go back and we'll converse about what made you become part of Blue Nile. So I'll start from my right corner, Miss Elder Sharpe. Can you tell us how long you've been with Blue Nile?
Sure. I was a candidate. I started in 2009 when I was 12 years old, and I did not pass through that year. So I came back I was 12, 13, 14, 15. I was 16 when I came back into the program. I passed through successfully at age 17. And then I became an elder 2 years after that, and I began teaching dance. From that, I joined the education committee, and now I have successfully passed one young sister who's my mentee, and I have one in the program right now.
That's awesome. We're going to come back to a lot of that. Nice. I have in the middle of me, under Malika and myself, I have Miss Elder Deborah Payne. What's up? How are you, sis? How are you feeling?
Unmute.
Unmute you. Hold on. We got you now. Go ahead.
Okay. I am well, thank you. How are the both of you? Good to see you. Now, I can't hear you. Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right. So when I was listening to Elder Simmons tell his story, it was like, when did you first come to Blue Nile? So I can't remember. I know it's been teen years. I believe that I've been with Blue Nile. I joined Abyssinian Baptist Church, and I said, I'm going to join a big church so I can sit back and just enjoy the service. And then Elder Simmons gave an appeal, I would say. He was talking about one of the youth, and it's like, and he had the youth with him. It's like, you know what? I have to investigate this a little further. And from the time I began that investigation, by stepping into the village, as it is called, it's like I'm still investigating. I can't get out. It's like a magnet. Once you become involved with Blue Nile, you are part of it. It becomes a part of who you are. So I started out as a mentor. I have 5 or 6 mentees, not including the ones who've just attached themselves to me that weren't given to me through our matching program.
Right, right.
Let's see. Oh, they created a title for me because I am an educator, and that was to look at children who have specialities, so that we could really, in Blue Nile, we like to leave no stone unturned. And if that's going to help to develop you, then we need to look at that and see how we can work with that. I then became the mentor coordinator, and I think I was that for about 6, maybe 7 years. And now I'm the program director of the Young Daughters of Harlem.
Awesome, beautiful. Thank you. Just for edification, shout out to Elder Broxton June. She said you came in 2006. I guess she.
Thank you. She's always on it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to my main man, Brother Dinkins, Elder Dinkins. How you doing, brother? Introduce yourself.
I'm doing well, brother. Good to see your face again. Good
Yes,
to see you
man.
again.
My man. Yeah.
So, my name is Elder Donel Dinkins. I felt kind of like Elder Payne. I used to say, this is my 3rd year, this is my 4th year, this is my 5th year, and the years kind of just keep going. So this is actually my 13th year in Blue Nile. When Blue Nile came to Greenberg, they came to the community center where I was employed. And my supervisor kind of dropped me in the bucket and say, this is you. And that was 2007. I had always been in youth service and human service. So I thought I knew stuff. And I got into Blue Nile and learned that I didn't know much at all. Much of my education in terms of working with young people in program development and program evaluation, most of that formal training has come in Blue Nile. When I first came to Blue Nile, I served as assistant program director for, I believe, 3 to 4 years. Then moved to program director of the Young Sons program, which is the boys program in Greenberg. And then I've also had 3 of my children go through Blue Nile as well. The first daughter that I had go through actually passed through with Elder Sharpe. So I told her earlier, I kind of look at her every day because I have the picture up in my office. So, I have the little bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young sister candidate Sharpe in my office. I have my daughter Aaliyah passed through. Out of the years, I can't even tell you. She's now 22, going on 45. My son, who was 19, passed through. And then last year, my youngest daughter, Aisha, passed through. So I've kind of had Blue Nile from multiple, kind of perspectives. And I thought, being a program director, I thought I kind of knew the program. No, I know how this goes. So then my daughter went through, and I understood that being attached to Blue Nile as a parent is a totally different experience than as an administrator. I found out again how much I did not know. And if she's on the Facebook, I want to shout out Elder Gabrielle Baker, who we had our first parent meeting, which are mandatory for our parents to come and converse with the elders to kind of look at the progress of your child. I said to the elders in the room, I said, don't treat me like an elder. treat me like you would any other parent, because I promise you I'm going to behave like any other parent, which is exactly what I did. So that's been my walk. It's been a great thing. And I would say, I know we're going to get into it later, I would assume, but I want to say to all of our people who have not engaged in this type of program or this type of experience, or my assistant program director says this type of journey, I would implore you as soon as you can to connect yourself first to Blue Nile, but if not Blue Nile, some type of rites of passage program. But we've been doing it, I think, 26 years now. We kind of know how to get it done, and I would implore you, it's a good idea to connect yourself to Blue Nile before the end of this Facebook Live. Thanks, guys.
And that's a beautiful thing. Let me just remind everybody that this is Real Talk Chronicles, and this is I'm paying tribute to the Blue Nile Rites of Passage. This is the organizations I'm affiliated with, I believe in, and I felt that they needed more recognition. I don't think they get the recognition that they deserve, and Malika and I dedicated this show to them, since we were definitely doing a series in mentoring the youth. So with that being said, how could I not recognize Blue Nile Rites of Passage? And with that being said, last but not least, my man, Kirk Hill, Elder Hill on the set. What's up, brother? How are you, man? Please introduce yourself.
I'm doing well. I'm just, happy to be a part of all of this. In terms of my association with the program, it actually stems before I even went through, because my godmother, Denise Lee, was a parent in the Blue Nile. My cousins, Tiana and Sakura, passed through, and my god sister, Drianda, passed through the program. My older cousin, James Kennedy, passed through the program. My older sister, Tiffany, passed through the program. And then in 2008, finally, it got to me. I went through the program. I passed through in 2009, along with my younger sister, who passed through right along with me, my younger sister, Tyler. So my whole family is in Blue Nile. It's a part of us. My mom is part of the parents, association. And I came back to contribute. I knew that I wanted to be a mentor. So 2 years ago, I came back to volunteer. I became a mentor, and my mentee passed through that year. And now currently I have another mentee in the program in the process right now. So it's just been a blessing, and just to be throughout the whole spectrum, just from watching an older sibling or an older cousin pass through, to myself passing through, to going out on my own and taking all the values with me, and then coming back to bring those values back to the program. It's just been quite an experience. So I'm just thankful, and I'm glad that I'm able to be a continuing part of the history of Blue Nile.
Thank you all, first and foremost, and shout out to all the Blue Nile family that's reaching out, that's watching. Much respect, divine respect. But I want to ask Elder Sharpe and Elder Hill. Now, you two went through the program and now are here as mentors. Please elaborate for me on that, and I'll start with you, Elder Hill, and then I'll go to you, Elder Sharpe. So what made you come back? Because that's what's important.
Well, eventually it just became my own choice, my own desire to be back. But the call to come back came a bunch of times. My mom, my grandmother, my godmother were all members of Abyssinian Baptist Church. So whenever I would come back home from college, I would go to church. And then after I graduated, I was going to church with my grandmother, and I just kept doing it consistently. And, you're bound to run into Elder Simmons at some point. So there's all these weekends where Elder Simmons is like, so when you coming back, brother? And I'm just like, I don't know. I got a job right now. I got all these other things. I don't know if I can commit to a Saturday, you know. And at first, I was kind of making an excuse, but at the same time, I didn't feel ready to come back. I didn't want to come back for the sake of coming back. I wanted to come back and know for sure that I had something to contribute. And I know that at that point in my life, when he first asked me, I didn't feel, in a sense, worthy enough to come back because I feel like I hadn't done anything. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I just graduated college. I'm still trying to figure out adulthood. I'm still, you know, working a job. And it was just things that I felt like I hadn't gained the wisdom to really come back. And then around 2018, I started to realize some things in my own life. I went through a lot of things and experienced some losses, and it just made me realize that I needed to be a better person, and I needed to continue on the path that I had started, and I had fell off of that path for a little while. And part of that was just reinvesting myself in the church and just reinvesting myself as a man and reusing the values that were taught to me. And I knew that I wanted to be a mentor, and I wanted to give back to somebody the way people gave back to me, you know. And I finally felt that I had a story to tell that was worth telling and wisdom to impart. So I finally came back and I told the other Simmons that I wanted to be a part of it, and I haven't looked back since. And I just I want to continue to be a part of this program as long as God allows. And it just it's when you see it happen, when you see how a person is touched by you and the people around you, and that people look up to you and love you for the person that you are, you know, flaws and all, it's a different kind of love, and it's a love in the village that I don't experience in other places. So it just makes me want to hold on to it even more. And my experience with my mentee changed me. I always say it. I truly believe that my mentee Antoine, when he passed through, I always say that he changed me more than I feel I changed him, because Antoine came in ready to just be his best, and his determination inspired me to be an even better mentor. It inspired me to be invested more than I already thought I was. So he created a growth in me, and the love that I gave to him just gave him more encouragement and confidence to do what he was already determined to do anyway. So, and we still keep in touch to this day. You know, we're always checking in on each other, supporting each other in things that we want to do. So I just know that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and that's my experience.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
I appreciate that, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Elder Sharpe.
Yes. Well, I have an interesting story. When I got in, I was 12 years old in 2009, and I was kind of forced. I was raised in a village setting, so I didn't feel like I needed the program. Being, you know, raised by my grandmother and like really put and placed in Harlem and Brooklyn and in the village, knowing all the ins and outs. And so I'm like, a leadership program, I'm good. And then when I don't make it through, then I'm like, oh, I'm definitely good. I don't want to have anything to do with this program. And to see that the village still stood by me, like I was in a music, I had a scholarship in a classical music program. And the elders, every time I had a performance, an elder was there. And then at one point, there was about 3 elders that came to one of my performances. And I'm just like, well, I just can't seem to shake Blue Nile, you know? And then I have Elder Simmons reaching out when I see him, you know, when he, you know, you see him on 125th, or you see him in Harlem somewhere at church, and it's just like, are you coming back? No, not coming back. And then finally I reached out, and I was 16, and I was like, well, this is about the last year I can come back without being a grown woman in Blue Nile. So I came, he said, of course you could come back. You know, I didn't have any money. My grandmother didn't have any money to pay for the program. And I was able to just go in as long as I did what I had to do, as long as I was respectful, you know, and I came out one of the, you know, highest ranking young daughters in the program. And the bond that I have with my sisters from Greenberg, like Elder Dinkins said, young daughter Aaliyah, my sister, like, we can always talk, you know, if I ever need to call her, if she ever needs to call me, you know, we have this back and forth, and it's a true family. So I'm kind of addicted to Blue Nile. I can't really seem to get away from it, and it can't seem to get away from me. So here I am, and coming back as an adult, and I had a son in the interim, like between passing through and coming in as an elder. When I came back, I was pregnant and I was teaching dance class, and coming back and, you know, saying that this needs to be available for my son. So saying that I need to hold on to this program and keep it going, and, you know, bring people in and make it even better than it is one of my, like, life goals. And, you know, it's a lifelong commitment, and Elder Simmons has made it such, you know, when he believes so strongly in something, I can't say, you know, I can't do it, because I see Blue Nile is his life. So it's not just some program. So coming back has been amazing, and being my relationship with my mentee, as Elder Hill said, you know, that's a whole different dynamic. I thought I was done. You know, I'm an elder, I'm just gonna keep giving. And then I'm like, oh, now I have a mentee, and having to deal with that and seeing the love that a young child needs, that I needed, that I was given, and now being able to give that is amazing. So this is where I'm at.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
I just have to tell you, Elder Sharpe, if I didn't know your story, I would think you were 16 now. So
Thank you.
good genes, girl. Just curious, what are the age ranges for the young people in the program?
Anybody can answer.
11 to 14.
11 to 14?
11 years old to 14 years old. We would
Okay.
take 15 roles on case-by-case basis, but 11 to 14.
Okay.
It used to be 12 to 15, but things are progressing so quickly these days. Sometimes, you know, if you don't get them by 11, sometimes you'll miss them. You know, sometimes you'll miss them. So right now it's 11 to 14.
Okay.
Every now and then we will get a youth that maybe even 16. You know, it's according to their mindset. It's according to their maturity level, and it's according to the situations that they're in. Some youth are in a very, very challenging situation. One of the great things about the program is we don't do any screening. We take them as they are, you know. So we see a number of, this is not a derogatory statement about any other organization, but it is something that needs to be said. That a lot of organizations, they have screening process. And in the screening process, you know, you screen and you take the cream of the crop, and then you deal with them, and then you say, you know, look how great we are. And that's all good and well. Blue Nile, we meet a youth wherever they are. And so we have youth that live in mansions and some that live in shelters, and that's just being honest. We have youth, you know, most of our youth are single parent households, and most of our youth come from, you know, they deal, you know, with public school and, you know, maybe projects, but not all of them. You know, some of them come from, you know, great households, but they all are in need. I'm very much in the mindset that we all are in need. I don't care where we are. We're Black men and Black women in America. We're all in need. So that's where the village concept comes in. And so we take them wherever they are. The only thing that we tell parents is that we can't take a kid, we can't accept a youth that has a propensity for violence, you know, that's going to swing or whatever like that, because, you know, we have to protect ourselves, and we will. But you know, besides that, you know, IEPs, you know, ADHD, you know, all of those things, we take them, we work with them, we give them love, we nurture them, we straighten them up, we clean them up, and then we send them off into the world to do whatever it is that God has planned for them.
Awesome. Cliff, let me ask you a question. When you pick your leadership team, what are you looking for?
Well, first of all, to be in leadership, you have to be with us for a little while.
Right.
It's not like, I got a certain degree and you come in and, I'm looking to be a leader. I'm looking for not a PhD, but somebody that has a degree and commitment. First of all, commitment that has shown that they've been with us at least for a short period of time. At least a year, 2 years. They've been with us. We can watch them. We see them. Not perfection is never the idea, because I would not be able to be on this program if that was the case. However, someone who's committed, someone who has a love for our people, someone who is going to they don't have to bring all the ideas to the table, but they have to be respectful of what we do and how we do. And if they have other ideas, that's all good and well. But someone who's real, the biggest thing is commitment. Someone who's committed.
That's beautiful. I think Malika wants to read some.
I have a couple comments coming in.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is from Robin Davis. She said, "I could not be more proud of having had 2 of my children and 2 of my grandchildren become sons and daughters of the program. Praise for Elder Simmons is forever and a day. Being as though he's my little brother, I would love to say I taught him everything he knows, but why lie? I am so in awe of the man he has become, truly taking all the attributes of our dad and mom to realms I am sure they could never have envisioned. I know they are smiling from heaven as Cliff is so confidently leading so many of our young people toward the promised land. I love you, brother." Mm-hmm.
I love you, my sister.
I think Ms. Bennett.
And wait, one more thing. I wanted to just make sure that my sister, like Elder Dinkins said, I have 3 children, but my oldest son was about 16 when we first started the program. So he didn't go through. And he tells everybody, I got Blue Nile, just by being raised in my household. But my youngest son went through, my daughter went through. I've had a couple of nieces, a couple of nephews, a couple of great nephews and nieces. So, that's the other beauty of it, is that when you see people in leadership, they not only are in lead, but they have brought their own children. So that's another testimony where it's not just people, we're asking people to come in and bring your children. We brought our own children. Matter of fact, most people in leadership are people who have had children, and that's one thing I forgot to say. Most people in leadership are people who have had their children or their relative go through the program.
Cliff, let me ask you a question. I want to get to Elder Dinkins and Elder Payne after, but I want to ask you, Cliff, just give people a whole synopsis of what the program is when they join Blue Nile. It's 9 months, but give them a rundown of what happens during the process without divulging certain things.
Right. Yeah, I understand. So yeah, it's a 9-month process. So we have an orientation. Then we have there's 7 principles. Each principle is about a month in length. We start out with personal growth and development. Then we head into health and wellness, not only physical health but mental health. We conflict resolution. Then we go into spiritual grounding. Does God exist? We don't proselytize to them. We don't beat them over the head with the Bible. We have youth that come into us that are atheists and some that are Muslim, and we had one youth that was even Jewish. His mother was Jewish and his father was a Baptist. So so does God exist? Is God real? We look at some of the tenets of we look at the tenets of the three major religions: Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and also one of the Yoruba of Africa. We look at all the tenets and we teach the youth that these are the tenets of these religions. And a person, if they say that they're a Buddhist or they're a Christian, they need to live by these tenets. And it's not what you call yourself; it's how you live. So if a person who says that they're Christian, a la the person in the White House, I have trouble saying his name,
Me
but
too.
So do I.
We all do.
You're
We
not-
all do. Don't feel bad, brother. Pick a number.
Right.
I try not to curse, even though I'm very fluid in it. But anyway, I try not to. So he claims to be a Christian, but as far away as that, as black as to white. So it's not what you call yourself; it's your actions dictated. And then we go into historical African experience, and we go all the way back from ancient Africa and bring it all the way up to the present, and civil rights and human rights and famous figures in African history, and we go talk about Egypt and Kemet, and give them a structure of that, and all of the great inventions like astrology, astronomy, that were came out of Africa. So historical African experience. Then we go into community consciousness. And in community conscious, we talk about what is community? What is consciousness? How do you, what can you do to make your community a better place in which to live? What are the challenges or the positive aspects of a community? And where's your role in that? Then we go into economics or economic awareness, and we take them on a trip to a career day where they meet professionals in all of various fields. Where we teach them about banking and balancing a checkbook, and we teach them about the economics of society and government. And then we go into politics. We end up with politics. And what is the political process? Why is it important? Why is it important to vote? Each youth, we try to each year, sometimes we miss on it, but we try to give them a voter registration card to show them how to fill that out. And challenge them that as soon as they turn 18, they need to fill that out. And of course, we just had the loss of our great civil rights leader, John Lewis. And of course, we would do a disservice to him and other ancestors if we didn't use that right to vote. Here's a person and other people that risked their lives in order to give us that right. And we would be damning the ancestors, and if we did not use it. So we end, and then we end the day with we look at the life and times of the late great Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who encompassed all of those principles. If you look at his life, and so then the youth that successfully passed through, the youth get three evaluations, 2 pre-evaluations and 1 final evaluation. The evaluation is based on if they know that there's a creed that they have to memorize. And they have to memorize all 3 stanzas of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Not only do they have to memorize it, but once they memorize it, then we go through each stanza and have them understand what these stanzas mean. They have to understand the meaning and purpose of ritual. They have to understand the meaning and purpose of libation, which is poured every week for the ancestors, those who have made an impact on the lives of our community. Every week that they go through that, as well as all 7 principles, they have to know something about those. And so those youth who successfully pass, and then we look at their behavior both inside and outside of the program. not just the behavior inside the program, because a lot of youth, you know, they come to us and they're calm, but they go home, some of them, and they curse their mama out and they curse the teacher out, and, you know, and so we don't reward them for just being doing well with us. They have to, you know, present those characteristics outside. The youth who successfully pass through, we go on an overnight trip. We go up to camp, and we do team building exercises as well as other activities. And it's from a Friday to a Sunday. Then they come back and they have their ceremony. There's 2 different ceremonies. One for the young brothers, who then become young sons if they once they pass through, and they're draped in their sash. And the young sisters have their ceremony, and then through their ceremony they become young daughters, and they're draped in their sash. And they're always challenged to come back and give back, as we see tonight with Elder Sharpe and Elder Hill. They're always challenged to come back and give back, because the circle does not become complete unless those who have been given come back to give.
Exactly. Cliff, I want you to, I'm gonna ask you a question. I know the answer, but I think people need to understand this. Not everybody passes through. Can you elaborate why?
Well, like I said, because of behavior, either inside or outside the program, maybe they're being disrespectful to their parents. Elder Sharpe, you know, to be honest, didn't pass through. Elder Sharpe was on the edge of passing through. No, this is
Elder
just
Sharpe. Yeah.
She was on the cusp of passing through. But we found out certain things that were challenging to us, and her grandmother, who was raising her and still raises her, came to us and told us some things, and told us straight up, I don't think she's ready because of X, Y, and Z. Elder Sharpe became very angry. And when I used to see her in the street, she would, you know, turn away, and she didn't want to have anything to do with us.
Right.
And a lot of youth get upset. Now, for instance, some youth won't memorize the creed, or some youth won't memorize certain aspects, or some youth won't understand what you know, certain things about the principle. But for the most part, they don't pass through because of behavior problems. And so and some of them are just immature. You know, some of it is immaturity, some of it is just, you know, a character flaw, you know, based on their age or based on experiences they're going through. And so they don't pass through, but we always encourage them to come back. And for the most part, those that come back do pass through that second year. We've had a couple that took 3 years, and some that just never did. However, all are better and all are blessed because of the process. You know, they all learn, whether they say it or not. You know, it takes a number of years for a number of them to really get it. But you can't plant positive seeds and not get positive results.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to let everybody know, before Malika reads some of the comments and statements, that this is Real Talk Chronicles. If you like it, share it. This segment is mentoring the youth. This is part
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
No.
But it's a part 4, I think it is. And I had to dedicate. We had to dedicate this to Blue Nile, something that's very close to me, and I believe in what Blue Nile does. Before I get to Elder Dinkins and Elder Payne, my lovely wife is going to read some comments and statements from people out here.
They are coming in hot, so I just want to catch up and read some of them. Sister Brenda said, "I divinely respect and love my Blue Nile family." Delcinia Bennett says, "I am so proud of the Blue Nile program. I can always say, which I love to say, my daughter was one of the first girls to pass through when they started the programs, the girls program." June says, "Amen, Elder Simmons." There's a lot of love coming in for everybody here, but I just gotta shout it out. And Alana said, "I'm Elder Simmons' niece. I was too old to go through the Blue Nile program, but I learned a lot from my siblings and 2 kids that passed through. So the Blue Nile program stays in the family." Absolutely. Then we have Anthony Judy, is it?
Yeah.
He said, "Behavior is one of the reasons I didn't pass through the first time. I remember He also said, I remember Elder Foster when I went through was strict, but was a but was a cool elder and still a cool guy.
Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa Davis.
So you are a cool guy. I will agree with Anthony on that.
As she gets ready for that stuff, you know, as Elder Simmons was about all the different programs and the segments that go through community consciousness is one that I take pride in. And you know what I'm saying? I love to bring it, right? Dinkins and Elder Simmons, we all know. I try to give you what you need to hear. I bring real talk to that segment, and I thank Elder Simmons for letting me have that every year and giving that. And I think Elder Dinkins and all the crew for allowing me, Greenberg, White Plains, for coming out. And I take pride in that, and I try to give you the best thing that I can give you is me. Go ahead.
So Lisa Davis asks, is the program in Manhattan, and can people be referred to your program?
Yes, you can be referred to.
Yes, and yes.
Yes.
So
Really quick,
Lisa Davis on this.
really quick,
anyone
for anyone who wants more information. So I know this is going out live. I don't know if we can put it on the comments or what have you.
Yeah, you can chime in and you can put it in. Go ahead.
So
both.
Anyone who wants more information, 212-561-1449. I'm gonna go again. 212-561-1449.
So now I come to Elder Dinkins and Elder Payne. I'm going to start with Elder Payne first. I see you in the cut. You have a lot of tenure. Both of you have a lot of tenure in the Blue Nile. Please just elaborate on why have you been with it so long? I mean, some things can get a little tiring, but you two have stood the test of time. And let me salute you both for that. And I commend you for saying that, because I think this is maybe my 10th year being a part of it, but you two have steadfast and Elder Payne, I'm gonna start with you. Just tell us what has made you stay the course of time, please. Oh, do we need to?
No,
Yeah, you
it's
need
better
to.
when she does it.
Yeah. There you go.
One of the things for me is the youth. I didn't elaborate, but that is the only kind of work I have really ever done. I've worked in daycare, preschool, infant nursery, high school, middle school, and elementary school. And my siblings say, oh, it's like, where are those kids going? And they say, oh, they're following Deborah. It's like, I love them. I think there's so much that we can give them, and give them in a very honest and forthright manner, especially if they know that you care. Now, Blue Nile is different. You can't hide. It's like when you say you're tired, it's like, I'm tired. I'm not going to, I got to get some rest. Someone comes and says, I see you over there. It's like, and we didn't see you for a couple of weeks. We need you to come back. And they help you with that. They are also uplifting. When my father died, my mentee stayed by my side through the entire process. I was amazed. It's like, you don't have to go home. And she was like, no, I am with you. I want to be here with you. And she was overseeing things in a way that people thought that she was related. It's like, I don't remember her. Who's her parent? It's like, that's her father over there. But she's a part of the Blue Nile family. And the things that the Blue Nile believe in, I believe in them. I believe in them wholeheartedly. And I've used some of it. I've gone into schools and said, excuse me, And of course, depending on the age and the scenario, they don't always go, oh, yes, ma'am, what do you want to say? And it's like, I said, oh, okay. So I divinely respect you. And that kind of makes them hit pause, is I divinely respect you. I want to intervene if I could. If you will allow me, then maybe I can help you, but I definitely can get people to help you. You don't have to go down this road, and it helps you from the inside out. I had an experience where I went to Elder Simmons and I said, so based on that, I think I need to fall back. He's like, no, you don't need to fall back. I support you. You're honest. You told me the truth. And it's like, we are going to move forward. And how could you not be a part of something that's so vital and so much in need? So that's the short of my story. That's important.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Dinkins, please tell us what has caused you to stay the test of time, brother.
Earlier, when we first started, I was listening to elders talk, and I kept hearing the same word. I kept hearing love. Love is the greatest and strongest force in the universe. It's responsible for everything that we see and everything that we don't see. I can remember, I don't know how many Saturday mornings when my alarm rings, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 6:45, and I realize that I cannot press snooze another time. I have to get up.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy about it. And I talk about this on Saturday with the young brother. This is real talk, right? We're going to have some real talk.
Better.
And then when we get there and you see the impact of the work that we do, you see how love is transferred. Love is better than sleep. Love is better than, whatever else you might want to be involved in. Love is just better. And in a world that's filled, well, let me say it this way, in a world that's in so much need of love, and not in a corny kind of way, but real powerful love, and the work that it takes to bring out and what that causes. We have a term in the village, they call it a Blue Nile-aholic. And it's pretty accurate, because if you've been around any amount of time, you've gotten to, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, it gets to like August and September, and emails start floating around and texts start floating around. Things have to start being done. And you just lock back in. You just lock back in.
Right.
Our people are in such need of what we are doing. I think that God just won't permit us to stop. I really think that's what it is, because, if I take off the sash and you just look at me in the mirror, that guy is a Negro, But when you add purpose and you add, as Elder Simmons was talking about, the spirit of the ancestors, something different happens. And then when you walk in a room and Elder Foster is there about to get busy, oh, I didn't want to miss this. So maybe I can stick around to see if you're going to show up, to see if we can pull you to Greenberg. It might be that too, though. That could be it too. It's love, brother. It's just
All
love.
the time. So, yeah, I think you want to read some comments? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I definitely have a lot of comments. But one question I want to read first is from Avid Williams. He said, being a participant as a youth, is there a survey or any opportunity for students to share their thoughts and/or suggestions for a problem? Whoever wants to tackle that, feel free.
Well, I guess since I'll just jump in real quick. I'm not sure who that is, but if this is a youth who has been in the program, all of the youth get binders when you come to Blue Nile. And in that binder is the contact information for at least the leadership for your program. That includes contact information for Elder Simmons, the executive director. And I'm gonna assume that if they were in the program, they had a mentor as well. So just reach out. Don't just reach out. And if you are in the program, you are, like we tell them when they first come to an open house, if you come to an open house, you're part of the village forever. That never changes. So to whomever that young person is, I would say to them, don't ever forget that you are a part of the village. So just reach out. Just reach out.
Let me just jump in there also.
Absolutely.
Every youth that comes in, there's a pre-evaluation and a post-evaluation. So the pre-evaluation will ask questions about, what do you know about, certain topics, what do you know about African history, or do you know this, or did Christopher Columbus actually discover America? I'm trying to think of some of the questions that are on there. But it'll give questions. Does God exist? Should you pray, or what happens if you don't pray? Just like questions just to see where they are. Do you know anything about economic awareness? Do you know anything about politics? Do you know who your political representatives are? If you get stopped by the police, what should you do? And just let you know that Elder Forster has been, along with a few other elders, have been very, very supportive. And we do a piece each and every year. We have a day, and that day is in community consciousness, and is what do you do when you get, if you get stopped by the police? And they're given instructions as to exactly what they need to understand, what to know, in order to get out of that situation alive and unharmed. So Elder Foster is very, has been given that lesson each and every year, as well as lessons on self-defense, basic self-defense. But if a youth ever has any issues or any concern, they're encouraged to express their opinions. And I'll also say this: they have in that binder, they have our numbers. They can call us 24/7
Yes,
for the rest of their lives.
that's facts.
I wanna say that again, because this is, I don't know, this is unheard of, I believe. The youth can call on us 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the rest of their lives.
And they do.
And they do. And they've been given all of our numbers. They can call, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. We've gotten calls, and we've been out in the street, and we've been, inside of households, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Elders show up. So this is our commitment. This is for real, for real. So I want to make sure that people understand. It's not just this is not just a 9-month program. This is a lifetime commitment that we make to the youth and to their families and to each other.
I think it's awesome, and like I said, I've been doing it for a while, and I think it's really been awesome. I think Cliff and you and I talked one time, and I told you what keeps me coming back all the time is there was a young brother going through the Blue Nile, and he had a little anger issue, but he was a good kid. And I remember one time I did one of my lectures, facilitated one of those sessions, and whatever I said during that thing, I remember Elder Vincent coming to me and telling me that he had got pulled over or got stopped when he was walking with some other young brothers. And he remembered what I said, and it calmed him down, and he was able to leave that unscathed and without being incarcerated or things like that. And that just made me feel so good. And that's just one thing besides dealing with all you beautiful people, keeps me coming back. And I feel like, I think like you all, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's just a destiny. We're called to do this.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful thing. And I love it. I want to shout out all the other elders that are watching, Elder Tolson, Elder Harris, Elder Myrick, just so many, Susan Miles. Like, there's so many of you that just that are here, you know, Anthony, Judy, we see you. You know, I give a shout out. Let me tell you something. This is Real Talk Chronicles on behalf of Malika Forster and myself. This is what we're trying to do. I wanted to give Blue Nile their own show today. Elder Sharpe, I see that a lot of people are giving you a lot of information, and we're not going yet. We got a few more minutes for you, but we just want to let everybody know Malika has some stuff that are coming in. Elder Sharpe, thank you for being a vessel for information, for questions. So go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, because one thing we did forget to mention in the beginning is we're only able to see the questions and comments on Bill Foster's Facebook Live. So thank you, Elder Sharpe, for passing those on. So there was one more question, I believe, from Avid Williams. He said, how does an adult join the faculty or staff of Blue Nile?
Elder Payne? Unmute Elder Payne. Unmute Elder Payne.
Yeah, she has to unmute herself. Go ahead.
Okay, there we go.
I am not sure if there's any one way to do it. If you express your interest, you can especially express your interest to Abyssinian Baptist Church, to the attention of Elder June Broxton, that you are interested in being a part of the village, and she will get back to you. You leave a number, your contact information, and you will hear from her.
But use that phone number, 212-561-1449. 212-561-1449. Call that number and leave your information, and someone will get back to you.
I got to give a big shout out to Elder Broxton. When I first I almost had to curse her ass out. She's about to get on my nerves. She was trying to tell me what to do during a meeting, and Elder Doji told me to take down some notes, and I used my cell phone for the notes. And she was like, "Don't use your cell phone." And I said, "Who do you think you're talking to? Don't tell me what to do." So that's been our running joke for a life. That's my sister. Love you, Elder Broxton. And you know, the Elder Doji had to tell me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I did tell him." So you know, ever since then, that's been my dog. Go ahead. I know you want to read some stuff, but shout out to Elder Broxton. Go ahead.
He always makes me laugh, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, you want to read something?" Takes me a minute to get my composure back. From Sister Brenda, she said, "I'm the proud parent of 2 young sons / college graduates that passed through in 2007 and 2010, and were paired with 2 phenomenal mentors who have become family and are very much in their lives. I recommend this rites of passage lifestyle to our youth. The lessons learned and experiences are invaluable." Couldn't agree with you.
Let me just read something too.
Absolutely.
From Elder Vincent, that was young brother, I think Tymel from Brooklyn. Yeah, I forgot his name, but you're right. That brother, he stays in my mind. I hope he's all right. Whoever speaks to him, please tell him I said hello, and I'm glad that he good. And shout out to all the people that have gone through the Blue Nile in the years that have come and gone. Some come back, But the one thing that we always know, even when we do see you, there's a level of respect. I think that's one thing Cliff has instilled, and that's why him and I have brothered up so well with this, because we are disciplinarians, but we give love, and we want to understand. Elder Dinkins, you know this too. Like, listen, it is what it is, but we love you. And I want to ask a question. I want to ask Elder Hill and Elder Sharpe, as young elders in this. It is for Cliff and I and Elder Payne and Elder Dinkins to pass this torch. I just did a show with some young youth that are like you yourselves. And I asked them, and Cole Anthony is one of the individuals. He's about to be a future lottery picker draft. And with that being said, I asked him, asked Bryce, and asked Judah, what things do we need to do as the OG elders that will help us bring young elders in under yourself, or to keep elders like yourself? What do we need to do to help keep this wheel turning? And I'll start with you, Elder Sharpe, and then I'll go to you, Elder Hill. Go ahead.
I think doing this, coming down, and, you know, we're on Facebook, we're doing social media, and we're doing things that young people are involved in. And this is one of the most important things. And Elder Foster, you are the original OG, because I remember you when I was young. I used to be scared of you. Oh, you used to scare me. But coming down and just, you know, this is a new approach that Blue Nile has taken in terms of using Facebook and social media to this extent, where we're able to talk to people. And, you know, due to COVID, it really helped push Blue Nile. And I just think using social media, posting pictures, showing what we do, instead of waiting for people to come to us, we need to come to them and say, hey, you know, your children need help, or do you need help as an adult, help raising your children, and just kind of do it that way.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Elder Hill?
I think it just comes with connecting and keeping the connection strong. You know, because some people will go through the program and they'll pass through the program, and their young sons and their young daughters, and we celebrate. And then as the years go on, you know, you can ask both sides and be like, I haven't talked to them in a while. I haven't called them in a while. You know, I haven't seen them in years. But they'll talk about their experiences. And, you know, then you just kind of put the question in your ear and be like, well, if you have so many fond memories, you know, why don't you reach out to that person, or why don't you come back and visit? And it's just more about letting them know that it's still a great environment. The village is still the village, and it's always a part of you. And I think when it comes to being a member of Blue Nile, there's always a level of expectation put on you. But I think as young adults, as people trying to navigate their way through this world, you know, because I can pass through a program at 14, but then everything that goes through my life from ages 14 to 25, there's a whole nother spectrum of experiences that the village isn't able to see. So I think when it comes to reaching out, I think you have to try to meet people where they're at, understand the circumstances surrounding that person, and then just always create an inviting vibe, you know, an atmosphere of this is home for you. You can always come back. And then when you come back, just let them find their way and be like, all right, this is what I like doing, whether it's helping out with lunch, whether it's working the sign-in sheet, whether it's coming in and speaking, whether it's, hey, for this principle, I think I can contribute and do this. I think it's, you know, let the young adults figure out what fits them. For me, I knew that I wanted to be specifically a mentor, you know, but through being a mentor, it led to me becoming an elder. So now that I have the title of elder, I'm stepping up and trying to do what's expected of me as an elder. But I think if there were limitations put on me when I first came back, it would have made me not want to keep going. So I think the fact that everybody allowed me to be me and everyone just let me find my way, I think that helped a lot in terms of me wanting to stay as a mentor, as an elder. So it's really just about keeping that connection strong.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you both. Thank you, Elder Sharpe. I guess I come with the pain, but I mean to sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I think it's about love and respect. And I just remember the first time I went through the Blue Nile, it just seemed like when they were doing the matching ceremony, all the kids was like, "Yo, we want Elder Foster." I was like, "Yeah, they don't know how to bust their little butt." You know? But I guess they love me, and that's why Elder Simmons and I. And shout out to Elder Simmons because he has called me, and I hope I've never let you down. We gone to people's houses. He is so, everybody out there, this is Real Talk Chronicles, Malika Foster and myself. You know, this is what it is. If you like it, you share it, tell somebody and tell them to share it and like us on YouTube. But the one thing I wanted to say also is that he is right about a lifetime situation. You know, we still get calls to this day. Elder and I will talk and converse with each other about how do we handle certain situations. And all good, because you know what, the bottom line is we both believe in respect. We believe in a village, and that's why I Elder Simmons, I tell you, with you to the Lord takes my last breath. I'm a rock with you, man. You know what I'm saying? You are my dude, and I love you, and I say that with all sincerity. This is a beautiful thing. This is a tribute to Blue Nile, rites of passage. This is something that I believe in. It's something I'm a part of, and I had to. It's the one thing that I had to do. I had to give you guys your recognition. A lot of people, you know, they hear about it, they whatever. But listen, Blue Nile, let me tell you something. There's a lot of ministries in Abyssinian Baptist Church, but this is what I rock with, and they all are important. No disrespect to any other ministry, but this is what I rock with. Elder Simmons, I want to ask you a question. Please explain to everybody what the sash means. Let people know about that, where they come from and how we got it.
Look at Elder Dinkins.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, yes.
Elder Dinkins, Elder Dinkins is so happy. You wanna answer the question, Elder Dinkins?
I really didn't want to say anything about it.
Go ahead, brother. You know you my dude, so go ahead, man.
Okay, this is real talk, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every day, right, sweetie?
We're going to talk. So my first year in the village, 2007, Elder Simmons and Elder Farmer rode me the whole year. Okay? I think I'm like, I don't know, 30, 31, 32, whatever it was. And they rode me the whole year. Now, a sister who I used to work with, LaShonda Famboulay, shout out to Elder Famboulay in I think North Carolina right now. I think we're about like two months in. And they give her a sash right in front of me. And I was like, yo, what's up with that? And I didn't get one, and I'm every week like maybe this week, no sash. So I had to wait all the way until our ceremony, the passing through ceremony. And I was presented with the sash and a Bible that I still have with the Blue Nile logo on the inside. And I was so happy because I kind of felt like official. Like I'm official tissue right now. So when people start talking about sashes and giving them out early, don't say it around me because I'm not really for it.
You're not co-signing that, right, brother?
So the sash a sash is earned. It's based on your level of participation. And yes, LaShonda did receive a sash early, but LaShonda, you know, to be honest, went above and beyond because she became actually my assistant as well as, you know, doing other things in the program. She did a lot. And, you know, we we do get on, Elder's case, and he just happened to be it for the year, and so we kept, bringing the sash and bringing it to him, and then taking it back. But really, the sash is earned. You have to earn it. You have to show. You have to give a level of commitment. You have to be with us at least a year. You have to come to at least half or 60% of the programs, and we just, it's a sign that you have reached the level of respect and elderhood within the village. And when you wear it proudly. These sashes are made in Ghana, so they're actually made in the motherland. So these sashes are made in Ghana. We brother that does international trading. He's from Ghana, and we order these each and every year. They're different sashes. Some say Blue Nile passes, just regular Blue Nile passes on both sides, and those are people that have that have volunteered throughout the years. We have sashes that say Blue Nile Passage on one side and Blue Nile in Harlem on the other side. Those are given to the young people that pass through in Harlem. We have other sashes that say Blue Nile Kingsburg on one side and Blue Nile White Plains. Those for the young people that pass through, for there. And then we have other sashes that say Blue Nile Passage, Blue Nile Elders, and those are the elder sashes. And then there's a golden sash that says Blue Nile Coast, and myself and a couple other people have those sashes. I only wear that on special occasions. So but yeah, it's a sign of that you've attained a certain status within the village.
That's an awesome thing.
If I could also say really quickly, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
With regard to the sash also, it also denotes a level of responsibility, not only to the organization, but to our people in general.
That's right.
And I like to say that the sash, the material is very light, but wearing it around your neck is very heavy.
Yes, real talk, real talk.
So,
I personally, I kind of have it more or less in as a something that I watch and I cherish when I see it and I have it in the house. I don't wear it as much as I should do. I love it when we wear it on the Sundays in church in recognition of the Blue Nile. I wish we wear it more. I want to say that this is Real Talk Chronicles, and this is the Blue Nile Rites of Passage. This is what's up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the elders. Elders are giving you the business. Some of y'all, please go back and converse with the people that are talking to you, because they're really shouting you out and they're talking to all of us. We're about that time, but before we go, Elder Simmons, you will close out because I have a question for you. So I want you, Elder Simmons, when we close out, you'll be the last one besides Malika and myself, but I want you to tell people where they can donate, because how this organization is run, how we need funding, if you want to be a part of it, what they can do and all that. But I'm going to save you for last. But I'm going to ask all you elders, and I'm going to start with you, Elder Sharpe, then I'll go to Elder Dinkins, Elder Hill, and then Elder Payne. Give some parting words, encouragement, love, inspiration, whatever you want to say. You got a minute. Just give what you want to say, how the people join, love, whatever it is that Blue Nile means to you. Share it, express it. This is Real Talk, so you can say whatever you want to say. That's what it is. Go ahead, Elder Sharpe, you first.
Well, I just love Blue Nile, but quickly I wanted to talk about the positives in the program, like the opportunities that I was given, that many young people were given. My second time back, I was able to work on Wall Street during the summer after passing through, I believe, or either something. But during the summer, I was able to work at Navios, which was a shipping company. But the opportunities that are given to us, and everywhere I turn, there's an elder somewhere. When I got into City College, there are some elders that work there. if you need help with some type of tutoring, there's an elder, we have Elder Foster if you ever get in any type of trouble. Like, so we have people not just for the program, but as life goes on or before you pass through, there's somebody that has the qualifications to help you with the things that you need to get done, So it's a great lifestyle. I don't see it as just a Saturday program. And, I wear my sash everywhere that I could possibly wear it to,
Awesome.
just to let people know. And I just hope that this program keeps evolving and evolving in a positive way.
Elder Dinkins, give me some love, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To the people, really quick. As we continue to try to raise children in this country, it's not enough for them that we send them through school, they graduate, and they're 18, 19, and we expect them to be adults. That's not enough. It's just not enough. We have to teach and train them how to be the type of people that we want to see and that we need. And we are fortunate enough as a people to have an organization who's figured it out. This is not something we're trying to learn how to do. We've been doing this over a quarter of a century. We know how to do this. The path is laid. I would invite us all, whether you have children or you're an adult or whatever it is, join with us. Join with us. This is not something we're trying to figure out how to do. This is something we have figured out how to do. Let's raise our children the way we know they need to be raised so we can have the type of people that we want to have.
Thank you, brother. Elder Kirk Hill, my man.
The main thing I want to say about Blue Nile is just that I'm thankful because Blue Nile has given me lessons that I'll never forget. It's given me experiences that I'll never forget. It's given me friendships that I always cherish, and it's given me connections that I'll forever be grateful for. And it's just given me the opportunity to constantly grow and learn and share. And there's a need for that in our community, and in this day and age. So I'm just like I said earlier, I'm just glad to be a part of this history. And in order to keep giving back, we just have to keep doing things like this and expanding and reaching out. And we can just only go up, from here. So
I just want to say something about you. I think the last time I facilitated, after we conversed with all the kids and stuff, you pulled me to the side and we just started talking about a whole bunch of things. I don't know if you remember. And you was all in my brain and you Q&A'd me and all that. But you know what's so funny? I appreciated you so much and I've never forgot you for that. Elder Sharpe, I never forget you either, because you was in there and I was watching you, because you know me, I'm all about getting all in that A. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got some lip, come see your boy. You know what I'm saying? But Hill, you and I, we talked and we conversed and we just talked about so much and we tried to cover so much within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And you were asking for knowledge, and I was trying to give it to you. But I appreciate you feeling that comfortable enough to really kick it with me on the low, on the side. Elder Payne, good sister, give me some love. Unmute yourself though.
This program allows you to grow, not only the youth, but as an elder, as an adult. You cannot be involved in Blue Nile and come out unscathed. It leaves some kind of a lasting something with you. As I'm listening to the younger elders speaking, I'm reminded that what we all do is read from a book where it talks about the genius is in you. We have to help you find your genius and help you to see it. Well, I think they also do that with us. We had a young sister who it wasn't her time to pass through. She needed some more time. She didn't come back. But what she learned in Blue Nile has helped her to now become a part of another organization where they applaud her. She's one of the Delta Gems from New York Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. She has passed through. She has worked through that program. She's successful. She's working in the church. She no longer tries to hide, but when she sees me, she's like, "Hi, Elder Payne." It's like, "Yeah, I see you." So, and on her way to college, has been interviewed for a number of scholarships. So we work with everybody. When Elder Simmons said that we don't screen, our screening, I believe, is, are you interested in us at all, in helping yourself? Then we are interested in helping you to the best of our ability.
That is awesome.
Elder Simmons, please give him the name of the book when it's your turn.
Elder Simmons, thank you for being my Malika and I co-host. Thank you for believing in all of us, putting us all in right position. That shows astounding leadership. You are my dude. You know, I can say so much about you. You know, you pick up my calls. When I call you, I pick up yours. We kick it. It's almost like a partnership in how we minister the team of defense for the Blue Nile, and we're gonna do it till we can't do it anymore. Just let people know what they can do to contribute and support Blue Nile. And then after that, I know Malika wants to read some things from Elder Boylan. You know, a couple of messages. So, matter of fact, I'll let her read a couple of messages before I let Elder Simmons, because I want him to give his love at the end.
So the first one is, thank you, Elder Foster, for your participation in Blue Nile Passage program, especially with supporting me with the community consciousness workshop since my transition to Harlem.
Yeah, so just let me get that. I got that. The elders will tell you, thank you for letting me have it, because I know one time we was talking and you was going to tell me what to do, and I didn't want you to tell me that. I got it. But thank you for believing in me. Go ahead, sis. That's the married couple, baby. We behind we on the scene. We on the scene. We do. You know?
My hands are freezing, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So, Elder Sharpe, I'm going to need you to help me with the pronunciation of this name. Is it Asukale?
Asukele.
Asukale Mitchell.
Yeah,
So
Mitchell.
let everyone know I'm watching and I appreciate their dedication to our youth. This process is about preparing the youth, of course, but it's also about supporting the families and rebuilding the community. People sometimes forget parenting doesn't come with a manual, and especially in the environment we're in. The Blue Nile Rights program is very necessary to help prepare our young people. Happy to be able to contribute to the process.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Elder Simmons, give us some parting words and some love, and tell people how they can contribute, because let me tell you something. A car don't move without some gas, and gas need money. So, you know what I'm saying? Give us a like on all that, and keep it 100 with us. Real talk, baby. This is Real Talk Chronicles. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things. Elder Payne was referring to a book called The Healing Wisdom of Africa by Malidoma Patrice Some, S-O-M-E. And in there he talks about how in the village, in the Dagara village in Africa, how they meant, what mentoring means, and that meant to, someone, a trusted adult, who was really looking at the youth and stayed with them for a while to try to figure out what their gifts were. Because, you know, you have a lot of young people and they could be 4'2" as adults and 100 pounds and talk about being NBA ball players. That's not happening. And I'm not
Yeah, we talked about that. We laugh at them.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to take any joy out of you, but let's just be honest. Or I remember had a young man and he was talking about he was about 110 pounds, and I saw his daddy was about 150 pounds. He talked about being a WWE, a wrestler. And
I gotta laugh because it's real talk. It's real talk. I gotta laugh.
I said, and what other goals do you have, brother? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of us need alternative goals. So anyway, so that's in Maldoma's book. I'm gonna give people the number that they can contact me, and I'm gonna give you my my personal email, and then I want to leave with a quick commentary. So you can reach us at 212-561-1449. 212-561-1449. My personal email address is servantfl, servant, SERVANT, FL, standing for life, servant for life, servantfl@gmail.com. And once you reach out to us, we'll we can talk. And but we need financial support. We need people that want to come in and do some of the work and just volunteer and eventually become elders. And we're looking for a whole new group of people to come in. As I said, the circle doesn't become complete until those who have much have been given come back to give. So we need new breath. The last thing I'm going to tell you is a story of a young man named we call him Nate the Great. This was years ago. He wound up coming to the program, pretty mild mannered, and left the program. The mother came to us after a program, and she said she was concerned about her son. And we said, what happened? She said, my son is on the street selling drugs. She said he left the program right now, and he's on, and she gave like a few blocks away from where we were running the program at that time. And she said, if you go out there right now, you'll see him out there. And I'm very concerned about him. So to make a long story short, we had him come in, not on that day, but we had him come in and with the mother, and we told him that operation for his life, that ends today. That's it. And I said, I don't care who your OG or whoever is out there, we'll go out there and we'll let them know that you're a part of this village right here. That sort of activity is going to stop. So we cut that off at the path. He was having a lot of problems with his mother. He was disrespectful to his mother, and we wound up finding out he was disrespectful at school. All this stuff started coming out. So we worked with him. We would show up at his house. We showed up at his school, and he transformed. I mean, didn't become perfect. None of us are perfect, but he wound up, started changing his life around. He was very angry because his father wasn't a part of his life, and the gangs had, stepped in and started, giving him, quote unquote love and protection. But anyway, we helped, change his course. So one day, Reverend Butts wanted to do a piece on Blue Nile to show the congregation what impact Blue Nile had. And I asked this young man to come in and do the presentation. So we figured out a way to do it. And this is how it went. He came in, he sat down, and hardly anybody could see where he was sitting. And when it was time, when Reverend Butts called me up, and I stood up and I spoke, and I said that I think that, talking about Blue Nile would be better done if we had one of the representatives come up. So he came up, and he had his pants halfway down his butt. He had sneakers on, he had his pants halfway down his butt, and he stands up, and he just takes the mic, and he starts looking around. He said, I know what y'all talking about. See, y'all the ones that y'all don't care about me, Y'all judging me right now. All y'all judging me, and y'all think y'all know. Yeah. And he started going off. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know. Reverend Butts was starting to get out of his seat, and one of the assistants held him back. And he was like, "No, I'm not going to allow this to happen. I'm not going to allow this to go on." And the assistant said, "No, Cliff, it's going to work out all right. It's going to work, just trust him." And so he goes off, and he says, "Before I came to Blue Nile, that's how I used to act, but Blue Nile changed me." And he had his ceremonial outfit with him, and he slipped his ceremonial pants on. He says, "Before Blue Nile, I used to talk bad to my mother. I used to down her. I used to do this and that. I was disrespectful to her." He said, "But Blue Nile changed me." He took his sneakers off and put his shoes on. He said, "Before Blue Nile, I wasn't taking church. I wasn't taking school seriously. I was just going. I was flunking out. Blah blah blah." He said, "But Blue Nile changed me." He put on his dashiki. He said, "Before Blue Nile, I used to so and so and so and so, but Blue Nile changed me." He put on his kufi. He said, "And before Blue Nile, you would never find me inside of a church." He said, "But here I am today." And he put his sash on. He said, "That's because Blue Nile changed me."
That was awesome. That's a beautiful story.
Sure.
And the whole church erupted.
That was awesome.
Transformed in front of everybody's eyes.
And people are even chiming and talk about, "I remember that day." That's beautiful. Shout out to a lot of people. Well, that's a beautiful thing. Well, this is Real Talk Chronicles. And my lovely wife, Malika, do you have any parting words before I say something?
I always have parting words. But Elder Simmons, one of our viewers actually wants to purchase the book, and I'm sorry I didn't catch the name of it. Can you repeat that for us?
The Healing Wisdom of Africa. The Healing Wisdom of Africa by Malidoma, 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 Malidoma Some, Some. And you can go on, he has a website, Malidoma Some. He has a website, you can go on the website and you can see the book there as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, I have to tell you, my very first time ever hearing about Blue Nile was when I visited the church, not quite 5 years ago, maybe about 4 years ago. And it was one Sunday when Blue Nile was being recognized. And, I knew a little bit from what Bill told me. And, I'm always curious about things, so I read a little bit. But it was just amazing to see the Blue Nile village sitting in church that day. It blew me away. And we were, tipping up the steps, and I was doing my best not to trip, but I just wanted to keep looking and staring over. I mean, it's just amazing to see all of you together. And exactly, it was just incredible. I'll always remember that, seeing you the very first time. I have to tell you, we've been talking about how do we support our youth and sharing success stories and mentoring our youth. We've been on this topic for about the last week or so, and it is just incredible to hear about this program in depth. I know that we have touched a lot of people's lives, and by just sharing the information, there's a lot more questions that are coming in. So I just want to thank you all, because this Blue Nile passage is for life, as you've said. It's definitely a family. We can feel the love, we can see it. We see your unity, and this is something that needs to be replicated 1,000,000 times over. I mean, this world right now, it almost at times feels like it's crumbling apart, but you give us hope. You are all examples of what life should be like and what it can be like. And I thank you. I thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. That's it.
I want to thank you all for being part of this family. It is awesome. I like I said, I was compelled to do something for Blue Nile. I hope people out there, I implore you all to share it, like it. The whole Blue Nile family that's out there watching, please share it. It's not about just Real Talk Chronicles. It's about the Blue Nile So if you believe in what Malika and I am doing, and believe in what Blue Nile is doing, please like it and share it. Also, just some upcoming things. Part 5, I'm doing another show with the Sledge Group, which I am affiliated with, and another young brother in the martial arts, Kareem Hines. He's doing something in Indianapolis. So these are my martial arts brothers that are also trying to give back to their communities. Malika and I have done these few segments on giving back because from everything that's going on in this world, it is us. We're going to bring the village back. Blue Nile, Sledge, Kareem, you know what I'm saying? Billy Council, Ivo, just there's so many people out here today. We're coming back to the village. You know, let's not have society or anybody else put acronyms or label our children people of color. We don't want to do that in any ethnicity. You know, listen, the future is now, right now. Like it's, we get out and vote. There's a lot of stuff, you know, about that. Please. So I just say all that. Blue Nile family, I love you. I appreciate you. You know, I demand and respect you. You know what I'm saying? For the ladies, you know what I'm saying? I know you say it. I'm not going to say it divinity me, and, you know, into you. I'm going to let y'all rock that, but I'm still staying macho with it. Yeah, listen, Malika Forster, Bill Forster. Just stay after for a few minutes. Listen, this is Real Talk Chronicles. You like it, share it. There's no excuse. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of shows out there, but ain't a lot of shows keep it real. 100. Salute. Bye, everybody.
Good night.